Hello, guys, and welcome to Behind the Bunker. It's Monday night, 8 o'clock. And do you know where everybody is? They should be here for a little Behind the Bunker action. So if you guys are seeing us load in, hit that like and like and share button. We're going to be over here. We're just on Facebook tonight. We're not going to do YouTube. We just want to make sure that we at least get the show up. So for you guys, we have, there you go. We have Matt the Crypt in the top right corner. How are you, sir?
I'm back on train for another Monday night. Can't wait.
Nice.
Excited.
And you got your updo.
Yeah, my COVID cut.
I want to open up a hairstyling joint when this is all done and just call it COVID cuts. There you go. Cheap discount haircuts. And then we have Gavin
Did you do
Sharma.
it yourself, Matt?
No, lady friend helped.
No.
Then we have Gavin Sharma from TerraTech Industries.
That's right, folks. I am here, and I am not COVID cut yet, but I'm getting damn close to pulling out a Matt and Todd.
Yeah. Might I suggest the wrist if you're going to go for a COVID cut?
I think that's going to happen next, or take a bath at the toaster. But I'm glad you're all here, my friends, and make sure you hit that like and share button because it is our regular Monday show, and I know there's some paintball happening around the world, and so we're all excited about that. So let's talk paintball Monday. Yeah. Behind the Bunker, hit like and share, or start a watch party because we're here, baby.
Your toaster comment rings in because last night I introduced my daughter to Schitt's Creek, and we watched the first episode. Yeah. If you get a chance, watch that. Then we have Joe Kimson from Flaggers Paintball.
Greetings and thanks for tuning in to beautiful Behind the Bunker tonight. It is Monday night, like my friend Gavin said, and we are here with some stuff to talk about, some paintball. We have some vault. I think we have some lightning round. We have a few things that are going to happen today, so join in, hang on, and stick with us for the next hour. Then you can go watch Netflix.
There you go. You're short tonight, Joe.
I'm what?
You look short.
Just the way I'm sitting.
Yes, slouching. Josh Zubi-Zabrickus is in next.
My slouch chair.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to everybody watching. Special thanks to those who like and share. I know we say it every week, but yes, it does make a difference. So please like and share to all your friends. Let them know what you're doing tonight. Let them know that you're safe from giving yourself a COVID cut.
Yes. Or you could give yourself a COVID cut whilst watching this. That would be completely satisfactory as well. We're watching you guys in the live chat.
Understand.
Wow, there's a lot of you guys joining in tonight. Thank you for coming in. I'm loading it up right now so I can watch along with you guys. Please hit that like and share button, guys. We have some good paintball content tonight. And I know there's not a lot going on in paintball in the world, but we're trying to make it feel like we're almost all back. Where we are, fields were taking a step forward, but now we are being told we have to take a step back, and we're given another date. So we might be a little bit farther behind the stateside for where we are. But Joe, looking into your crystal ball, what is your predictions?
A couple more fields got permission to open today, but then a couple more were asked not to open again. And then the premier has asked for the state of emergency to be extended till the end of the month. However, by instilling the state of emergency, this gives them additional powers to have the military help out in nursing homes and things like that. So I don't know if it is critical. I did have a meeting with some local people about day camps as well today. So we'll see what happens there. So we're still pursuing the possibility of opening for self-equipped players only for rec ball and airsoft self-equipped players as well. Mm-hmm. So we'll have 1 day paintball, 1 day airsoft. We're miles away or a ways away from having speedball, but we will be able at some point in the future open for recreational paintball.
Joe, sorry.
Most anyone ever has talked to me. Sorry, go.
We know no one here cares about speedball. Sorry, no one who counts. So, how about bringing back Tuesday Night Mission Paintball? You think you might be able to pull something like that off first?
If we can open for Saturday, Saturday walk on paintball and then Sunday airsoft, then my thinking is we will be able to open for Tuesday Night Mission paintball as well.
Because if there's some paintball that I'm really missing, it's Tuesday Night Mission paintball.
So
Agreed.
it'll likely happen. What it'll look like, you'll have to pre-register and prepay in advance. You'll fill your waiver out. The fill station will be manned or operated by a flag raider staff member, and they will also have the goggle spray. So they'll spray your goggle if you get shot in the lens, and they'll give you a piece of paper towel to wipe it off, and you'll throw it in the garbage, or you'll bring your own microfiber. The dead zone, you'll be spaced, 6 feet apart, and you'll be starting in a line as well. So it'll look like an NFL kickoff game, and in the dead zone, it'll look like an NFL kickoff game. That's what it should look like, and we'll do as much as we can, contact free as well. We've been working on and formulating some plans, but really we don't know until they tell us how many people we can have, and no one seems to be able to give that answer. There won't be a whole lot of social media that we're open as well, because we want to sort of fly under the radar as well. So it's going to be an interesting time for the next little while. But if we can open for Saturday, Sunday, then we can definitely open for Mission Tuesdays. We just won't be able to go to the Moose after.
I'm hoping things relax a little bit over the next couple of weeks in terms of emerging bubbles. So if we can have more, if we can have more than 5 people gather in the province of Ontario, that would be very helpful for moving our case forward, and it's a good indication that things are moving along nicely in terms of having a flat curve, right? So,
yeah.
And fingers crossed for all those things.
And for a super selfish reasons, I want all my friends in the same room again. I hate doing the show like this.
It's not the same.
No, I mean, I the repulsive smell of Zuby and Gavin's gazing eye gazes from across the table. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd just be nice to have all you guys in the same room, and we could do so much better of a show. But well, I mean, no, we can't. But you know what I mean?
That being said, you are definitely not going to be on my first bubble.
Yeah, if I can choose the people in my bubble, yeah, you're not the top of my list, my friend.
This is like my 5 when you used to have a phone and you could have your 5 friends and call.
Yeah.
I went to the Bubble Factory today.
I think V Mall might be part of my next family bubble. I miss his nachos down at the Fiddle. They're not open, and they're not opening anytime soon, but that's what I miss the most about all this COVID.
My bubble would be a hairdresser, so somebody who could cut my hair is in my bubble, for sure.
Yeah.
Gavin, I've got clippers.
My
night before the show starts.
Could be worse. My dad bought himself a home barber kit and professed himself to be a barber. Because we were all boys, we were all young, it didn't matter, right? Like bowl cuts, whatever, it didn't matter. And he was terrible. I hated getting a haircut. At least when it grew out, people knew that it was grown out.
So is that what you guys are trying to relive right now?
Yeah.
And your brother?
Yeah. Matt looks better than what my dad would have done.
George Hayes asked, when will the Canada border be open? They just, someone's calling me from Serbia. Let me decline that. They just announced they're closing it until the end of June. Isn't that right? June 21st.
Yeah.
Is the border still? It's open right now for essential travel, like people working on either side of the border can cross, George, and also obviously shipment of goods back and forth.
Yeah.
As well. So
I would love to know someone that drives to the States and back, even if they're a trucker, that could run an errand for me. Man, I miss something that they have in the States at Trader Joe's.
What is it?
Oh,
Olive Tompanade?
No, I would like. Well, I missed that too, but I would like a dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's.
I would. Right now.
I would give you Gavin for several bags of that. So let me know.
Todd, I have an extra bag of dark chocolate Reese's Squares.
I appreciate that, and I may take you up on that. But in all respect to Trader Joe's, those are flipping fantastic.
I have some dark chocolate almond ones.
Yeah. No, I might. As I say, I might take you up on that.
It's exciting that Dairy Queen around the corner from our house opened.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry to take a page from Gavin's book. Let's get on the track here.
I was just gonna say. All right. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on and let's feature Gavin here for
Mail time. The mail's here.
Rick Chard's watching too.
There we go. And we could talk about what Rick Chard had mentioned as well. But let's get through mail time first. Gavin, you have some questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a slow mail week. I know the Postal Service is on lockdown as well. So there's a little bit in my sack, but I will rip open my sack and read some of the correspondence that you, my friends, have sent in. There's a couple of questions my friend Todd sent me via the electronic way and one is sideways, so I'll try to have to read it sideways. So the first question comes to us from Flippy McFlickperson. It is from Chris Brandt, and he wants to know if you had to replace a piece of your gear with a cheap Walmart model, which would it be? So a piece, like a hopper, mask, tank, whatever. If you had to grab something from the Walmart, what would you do? What
I almost think that's easy. And one example, which is a cop out, is a microfiber, because whatever. But gear, I'd get myself a plain loader, because if I'm shooting pump some of the time, the loader would be the cheapest thing to get, wouldn't it? Like, you could skimp on that. Unless you're playing speedball, then I guess you'd have to do something else. But I don't know.
Probably get a JT mask of some sort there. That would be okay. But a hopper's probably your best bet. I play mag fed, so I don't even think Walmart sells AR-15 mags anymore. So I would have to somehow manage to make them on my own. 12 grams would be fine.
Good point on the JT goggles, though, because even a pair of JT goggles with closed cell foam, like the lowest of the low, cheapest of the cheap, is still more comfortable than some of the other goggles on the market. There's something about that JT 270 degrees lens that...
60.
You sure it's not 270?
I'm pretty sure it's 260. It's called a Spectra.
I think it's 280, actually, and I'm not even being a smartass.
No, I think it's 270. Can someone look that up? JT Spectra lens.
280?
JT Spectra lens is 260 degrees.
Don't say you looked that up. I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's 270, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I am saying
it's an odd number. They would never manufacture that.
All right. Oh, John Maskin, 12 grams. John Maskin for the win. That'd be a good thing you could buy at Walmart for paintball. And Ryan McGee says it's 270. Greg Beck says 274.5. Yeah, I don't know.
It's 260.
Josh, what are you buying from Walmart for your paintball kit?
I don't even know what Walmart has for paintball. I think the pretty safe cop-out is the hopper, but maybe an air tank if needed.
Would they have HPA or just CO2?
Probably CO2.
I guess you could run most of the guns we use run on CO2. So
I can run my TMC on CO2.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, people are talking about paintball in the chat, but Ponage is saying, don't you mean a box of rocks?
JT Spectra Pro Shield thermal paintball mask comes with a 260 degrees.
No!
But I don't know. Check the source on that.
Ryan McGee says, I had a Spectra. It was 270.
No, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's 260.
It's 270.
It's 260.
It is 270. Okay, sorry, Josh. Did you actually find it?
Yes.
It's 260. I'm telling you guys, I know.
I want a second source.
You anti-dentite.
Fake news.
Yeah,
Fake news.
Yeah.
I've been using JT Elite lenses when they were 180 degrees. Then they went to Spectras, which were 260. The Elite one, I think, is 180.
Okay,
so
this
360 came right back to where it started.
Then that's the fishbowl, the 360. You put it on your head.
This is from ANS Gear. It's a JT Spectra Pro Shield thermal paintball mask, 260, but with the Canadian exchange might actually be 270.
I was going to say, because you're on a U.S. website, so that's probably why.
Yeah, you guys are communists.
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we move on? Gavin, do you have any other questions there?
I have one more question before I cinch up my sack, and it comes from our good friend, Ryan McGee. So his question, I want you guys to put your thinking caps on, and maybe our friends in the chat can respond as well. Why do you guys think that YouTube paintballers, e-celebs, as they're referred to by some in the community, like Wolf, Reaper, etc., and others, receive so much hate from the paintball community? And what do you guys think needs to happen to stop it?
They receive hate because they're popular. More eyes just provide more people gonna hate.
Yeah. Hate is gonna hate, Matt wants to say.
It's like
He just can't say that with that haircut.
Taylor Swift haters gonna hate.
Just kidding. I'm the guy wearing a hat.
You know what?
Matt,
Wolf and Reaper do an awful lot to promote the sport.
Yeah.
Online,
Smart.
offline, in where they play, when they talk, and they're both very friendly and very personable people.
Yeah.
And they neither one of them won't hesitate to stop in the middle of walking or going somewhere to take a picture with someone. And I've seen it on many occasions. You can't get, half these times these guys can't get out of the staging area because people are taking their picture and talking to them. And I even on a normal recreational day, it's hard to get out. So
we've had conversation, Joe. You and I have been in conversation with people like Pev and Gavin and Josh. I think you guys and Matt were even a part of this at Paintball Extravaganza. We were talking about what our sport needs, and one of the things it needs is not necessarily mascots, but leaders, people to look up to, heroes, exactly. And right now, you can kind of argue that we do, but we don't. I mean, the speedball world, you've got the Greenspans of the world, nice, pleasant fellow. He takes pictures. He does all that stuff like Joe was saying with Wolf and Reaper. On the other end, you got Reaper and Wolf. And I know there's other guys, and we're just using those two guys as examples right now. But that's what we need. We need people like that so the younger generation can look up to them and kind of, and again, like, okay, let's say you don't like Wolf, let's say, or Reaper, or one of the two, for whatever reason. Suck it up. They're there helping the sport out, right? It's like, it's like an actor. We all have an actor like Owen. I can't believe I'm an actor. Wilson. If he's in something, I know someone who will not watch it and will be completely put out, right? Fred. So don't.
Yes.
Don't. If you don't want to go to a game that has, paintball celebrity that you're not a fan with, don't go. But on the same token, do know that they're at least, again, love it or hate it, they're working for paintball, so let them do it. Let them do it.
I always look at it this way, too. You can go to big games and you hear people complain about Wolf and Reaper and Todd and all these other people.
Yeah.
And it's like, to be honest with you, though, when you're out on the field, whether Wolf or Reaper is there, it doesn't make a huge difference to the game. Yes, it brings out more people, which is great, but Wolf being on a paintball field is just another guy shooting a lane.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to shoot Wolf in the back so you can take the good bunker that he's in to get a better shot at Reaper. But that's paintball, right?
Things that happen at Super Game stay at Super Game.
I can't say I've ever been to a big game and it's like, if only Slim wasn't there, we would have won. Or, we wouldn't have lost or, whatever. So it brings people out. I think people put too much into those people being there.
Joe's got a point here, but Greg Beck says Nick Sloyak is also a good ambassador. I didn't want to let that one slide through the chat.
Yeah, I was going to mention that
Nick
too.
Is too.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know.
Now, Zuby, for someone that's not really a fan of speedball, you just chose the shooting a lane, sort of a lingo. Is there not something else that you could, could you not say your field of fire or?
Okay, if I'm shooting at my favorite satellite dish and Wolf happens to walk in the way, then it's a
you know what? But in all fairness, lane is but everyone knows what a lane is. It makes sense. It's like camouflage is a recreational, terminology, but people know what camouflage is, and I guess it might be more of a speedball thing. But yeah, lane is kind of. What about frozen ropes? Do you say frozen ropes when you're putting full auto?
My gun shoots lasers.
No, I scream at the top of my lungs in a full falsetto voice. I'm going to pepper that tree.
Yeah. Derek Dykstra, or Daraska rather, sorry, he says 270 Spectra, final answer.
He said 260. What are you reading? Get your glasses on.
Yeah.
Fake or not, put them on.
All right. Do you have any other questions, Gavin, or you want to move on?
Negative. So we are all wrapped up for this evening in this week's segment of Mail Time. So we are now back. We're live. We're doing these segments every Monday night. If you have any questions you'd like us to address on the show, send it to show@behindthebunker.com, and we'll address it on... Come on, gentlemen, you got to help me out on this
Mail
one.
Time.
Mail time.
Mail time. Thanks. one other piece of correspondence that came in today, and there's not really any good video for me to show, and I kind of wouldn't show it anyways. And I'm not going to give the person's name, but the email itself came in from Richie Rampage Santos, and he says, I'm really pissed off, and the paintball community needs to know. I wanted to tell you about a horrible story that happened this Saturday at a scenario game at our local parks in Orlando called Battlefield. Apparently some guys thought it would be fun to use pepper balls on newbies and kids. Like over 200 people were affected.
First of all, what are 200 people doing in one place during a pandemic?
Well, it's Florida, so it's
Florida.
It's different
Pandemic
rules,
doesn't exist
right?
down there.
So basically he says, we need to ruin this jerk's name and his team name. He says these people needed medical help, IVs needed, horrible, bad, like a horror movie. Police came and blah, blah, blah. So basically some numbnuts took pepper balls and put them in their hopper and were shooting at people. And,
Well,
I mean, I'm not going to give all the details, but if you guys see or hear any of that stuff, God, like, how stupid can people be?
So, one, this is definitely not an independent rogue wolf, right? Somebody who's taken it upon themselves. Somebody had to have known something before it happened. If you are party or privy to that information, do the right thing and just either take the marker away, contact the authorities or the field owner. Nobody needs to be hurt on the playing field, especially with malice, right? I mean, there's no way you're mistaking that for anything else. The intention there was to harm people, and we don't need any of these jackasses in our sport. So whether it is pepper balls or any other form of cheating that can actually potentially hurt somebody, you know what? We need these people out of the sport completely. It ruins it for everybody.
Yep.
We want to be able to, paintball strong, grow paintball. We want to introduce kids, families to it. And if you have somebody who is unstable and seriously wants to injure somebody on a playing field, this is not the sport for them.
Yep.
There's a list of resources you can call to get them treatment and help. But intentionally hurting somebody on a sports field is ridiculous. And if you're privy to that, you're not a friend. You're not a friend if you're shutting your mouth. Call everybody out. Make sure that people are safe playing this sport.
And two other points I want to add to the story. Sorry, John. I'll let you in a sec. The girl that got injured was there on her birthday. So I mean, it couldn't have been a worse player. And then Steve in the live chat brings up a point that I forgot to mention as well. It was a local team. It was an established and local team that one of their members did it. So, as to Gavin's point, come on, guys. Like, if I knew, like, if we were all out as a panel and I saw Gavin or he even mentioned that to me, that he had an intention on doing that, I'd lose my marbles.
There, you know what? It also comes down to some of the distributors began distributing less than lethal at the beginning of the pandemic for home defense, and I don't know if you can mix the two. There's no vetting as well of who gets what and how they're going to be used. And less than lethal is really it's a form of home defense, and it's something that shouldn't be sold by the same distributors that sell traditional paintball, because again, there's no vetting, there's no idea how it's going to be used, when it's going to be used, how it's going to be used. So there's certain considerations have to be done, and we know who's selling it, but like, you really, it's not. I don't know. I don't think you can mix. I don't think you can mix the two.
But at the end of the day, it's not the manufacturer's mistake. It came down to someone making a conscious decision that I'm going to be a douchebag.
No, exactly.
And this is what I'm going to do.
An absolute choice. You can't accidentally load pepper balls into your magazine and just think this. It was field paint. So either you're coming there thinking, okay, I'm going to screw this field and use my own paint, and I have no idea what this is. But if it's team on team, clearly they have some experience with paintball. These are not brand new people. So this is absolutely an assault. And let's just call it what it is. This is a criminal act, and it needs to be handled accordingly as a criminal act. And if you are privy to that, you know what? You need to separate yourself from that team, come clean, help the authorities to put this person to have the full extent of justice, because this is absolutely ridiculous to be part of an assault that takes place in the field.
But as Matt likes to do, he likes to use those pepper balls and shoot his eggs, because one shot and you're south of the border, he says.
And just for clarification too, not clarification, but just a little side note, you can put this in your lightning round. Pepper balls was actually my nickname in college.
You know what? On another note, I've had an opportunity to shoot some of the inert pepper balls, and they're filled with baby powder, and those things are rock hard. They're not soft by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
They're very hard. They're designed to be shot out of a similar launcher, we'll call it, as a paintball gun, but they shoot it at very high velocities, and the shells are very, very hard. So you cannot even think about even shooting those at an individual or something alive.
And dear God, like, it's not like this season been dragging on forever and you're frustrated with another team. We've just opened up in most states, like in provinces. Like, this sport has just begun to start for the 2020 season. What the hell are you thinking? Right? Like, I can't wrap my head around it. I'm upset just by hearing the news. I can't imagine what the people were who were participating in the field order, the ref and staff like that. Yeah. So kudos to you guys for managing this. And you know what? Don't be a jackass. And if you are on a team or know somebody who's a jackass, stop it before it even happens. Right?
Kudos to you, Gavin, for saying the words, "Dear God," because now I just wrote it down. I'm going to go see if I can find Ecstasy and see if they're online. Peter Pumpkinhead and Dear God. Remember those old songs from the 90s? Another rabbit hole.
What's wrong with you, Todd?
Another rabbit hole I want to go down. Hey, Josh, do you have anything more to say to that? I know I interrupted you before. Did we talk about your point, or?
I was just going to say, especially if it's an established player and somebody who obviously knew what they were doing, it's egregious and it's gross. But just
Jackie Child's word. It's egregious, preposterous. Good for you.
Unbelievable.
Who told you to put on the bomb? Hey, so we're working on having maybe some lightning round next week. I took an opportunity today to prepare a couple lightning rounds myself, and I only got into it about 5 or 6 questions because, as Gavin said before the show, when I was kind of riding them, it is hard. Getting lightning round questions together is super hard. Plus, you need a whole bunch of them because of we go through them so quickly. For those of you guys that don't know what lightning round is, what we like to do is take a batch of questions and ask the panelists super fast and without any ahs, or hesitation. They have to quickly answer the question. If they don't answer it within a quick moment, whether it's right or wrong, they're out. I went and I found I have a stack of sheets from our old lightning rounds, ones that we've been through before, and I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And what I did was I put them into Google Translate, translated them from English to Hindi, and then back to English again. So I'd like to ask you guys these real quick. You might recognize the questions. That's why I chose obvious ones. But going through Google Translate, it may have skewed 1 or 2 of the words. So are you guys up for a quick lightning round?
Sure.
Why not?
If it's in Hindi.
Okay, I'm going to go by my screen. I have Matt will be first.
Go out, yes.
And then Gavin, Joe, and Josh. That's the spirit, Matt. Or should we just see who's the first person to get the question right? Because you may not even understand them.
No, just go around, jackass.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Matt, name the city was played on NPPL, The Beach?
Huntington Beach.
Good for you.
That wasn't Hindi translation.
That was. It was too. Well, okay, I translate to Hindi and then back.
Clearly wasn't Hindi.
Bugger. Okay, I don't know how to speak Hindi, you jerkasses. What am I supposed to do? All right, Garvin Sharma. Who sees through spike bunkers?
Arabs.
I have no idea.
That's right.
Sorry.
Matt got it. Arabs.
What was it?
So who sees through spike bunkers? The question was...
We also would have accepted Iron Man.
Yeah. So the question was, when I put it into Google Translate, was who makes see-through speedball bunkers? All right. Joe,
Okay.
when the hosts of this show take away a place they have eaten?
Behind the bunker.
Gus's fried chicken.
There you go. Gavin gets
There you
it. See, it's so much easier when you're not the one in the hot seat. So basically, I put in, when the hosts of the show are away, name a place that they have eaten.
Oh.
Yeah. Josh, name a spice that used video for the show.
Pod?
RCA?
Colonel Mustard.
That's right. Gavin gets it again. So the
I'm
question
so better at
was
Hindi, but it's not my question.
the question was name a condiment that was used to do videos for the show.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's funny how in Hindi condiment is just spice.
that's right. I only
That makes sense.
I only have three quick ones, and we'll move on. For all of you guys, name the incident that takes place once a year in Thailand.
Pals.
Owls.
That's right. Name the event that runs in Thailand once a year, which is PALS. Yeah. I don't know if you'll get the answer to this, but we asked it all the time. Which mother is raised the most? The question was, whose mom gets picked on the most?
Greg Hastings.
That's right. That's right. All right, Joe, since you got that one, you get this one. Sponsor any shows?
Empire.
Air Up.
Land Eclipse.
There you go. All right. It was a lot harder than I thought, Gavin. You are right. Coming up with questions and
But I do like almost recycle previous lightning rounds with a different language translation. I kind of like.
You're the jerk ass that accused me of not translating it to Hindi.
I don't know why you're looking at me like a Hindi expert. You're racist.
Nice. All right, well, guys, we're going to watch your live comments in the chat. We're going to talk to you guys about our subject tonight. And before we do that, I do want to mention a couple things. First of all, if you guys get an opportunity, I'll see if I can put it up. Your comments live in the chat. So if you have anything, put it up there. And we have, I think, about 17 sheets, as I said before the show, of comments that you guys have sent in on Instagram and on our social media. So I'm going to read a couple of them just to get.
Dwayne King and John Mask can both say there's no sound.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. Gosh, damn it. All right, so the bottom line is, guys, that event is happening at Three Rivers Paintball, so go check that out. And our topic tonight is, what is one rookie mistake that you guys would like to correct for players? Robert Hansen starts it off. If you're not going to get into the sport, if you're going to get into the sport, buy a mask first. Rent a gun a few times and see if you like it, and then purchase a marker. You don't need to buy $1,000 worth of marker. You guys are welcome to interject at any point if you guys have any comments about that.
That's true. The first thing someone should buy if you're considering getting into the sport is, a mask, maybe a swab or a squeegee, a microfiber, even gloves and a Shema. See if you dig it, then start from there and add on. And how can you not like paintball, really? You're running and you're hiding and you're creeping around, you're out with your friends. How can, someone not go play paintball and not enjoy it? So.
Yeah. And I agree with the gun thing, because you don't know if you want to play mag-fed or if that's too much of a challenge for you, and instead you want to do, you want to get yourself a space gun, or you want to do whatever, but try it a couple times before you get an opportunity. It's like if you want to buy a handgun or a real gun, go to a range and try to ask guys to shoot different ones. So you get, there's a huge difference between guns, especially with even paintball markers. When you guys say there's a huge difference between just about every gun on the market.
Yeah, I would say so. Each one of them shoots a little bit different. It has a slightly different trajectory, how you hold it.
It's like Gavin's
Absolutely.
TMC shoots awesome, and then you've got Josh's Evil Omen. It's got a whole other shot when it finally gets out.
That doesn't shoot at all.
George Hayes says, I tell newbies to stop using Windex to clean their lenses. I've had to do that several times.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a very it seems to be it's a common thing amongst a lot of players. They'll bring Rain-X or Windex out and they'll be cleaning their lenses in baking sun with Windex, so it's not a.
It eats at the Lexan, ruins the
Yeah.
integrity of it. But people don't know. Hey, you got a streak-free shine, but now I've lost my eye.
But logically, it makes sense because you use Windex around the house to clean your windows. Why not your goggle, right? It's like all those guys that used to bring can of Pledge when they were playing with their KP3 Sheridan rifles. You know, they don't know.
Yes, that's true.
Paul Tanner says, if you can't see the person, you can't shoot them. Painting a bunker doesn't eliminate them. Don't be afraid of getting hit. Even the best players get eliminated. Julian Harry Christie says, that's a hell of a name. Also a big one, don't buy your gun or mask from a major retailer. Go to a pro shop. Makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Agreed. So going back to that point too, it's one thing to purchase online and sort of look at it and read reviews, but every mask fits differently. Every style fits differently, and it may not fit your face. So it's always a good idea to talk to knowledgeable people in a brick and mortar pro shop, try things on, and have an idea of what's going to be a comfortable fit for you. And you may, if you're especially getting into the sport, you may not know what you're looking for other than the cool factor. So people can actually give you an educated opinion, provide you some information so you can make an informed choice. So that is brick and mortar stores, talking to salespeople, and helping support the little guy is very, very important for also growing our sport.
Most products you guys buy, kind of like that, or any sporting thing, you're going to want to ask questions as soon as you get it anyways. You might as well buy it from someone who's going to take the time to answer that.
Can I also put an asterisk next to that there, Todd?
Yeah.
Don't go into a store, waste the sales guys the time for all their information and expertise, and then go buy it on Amazon or online. If you're going to use the person's resources and knowledge, at least support the person you're receiving the information from.
Yeah. Tim Miller in the live chat also has a good comment. He says, if you're going to buy paintball gear, especially for those hotter days, make sure you buy an S key or a chili bin.
I have a question. Where Richie
or else something will fall off.
Rampage Richie Santos, where are you? What city, state, whereabouts are you? You don't have to give me your address.
He was in Orlando at a game on the weekend.
I know, but where do you reside?
Yeah.
You don't need to give me your zip code. Just the city and state would be fine.
Here's a comment from Brian in the live chat or on Facebook. He says, find the player wearing old school gear. Stick with him. Chances are they've been playing long enough that they will enjoy teaming up with even the greenest of rentals and give them tips.
And tell them lots of stories. That is so true. A lot of these guys that have been in the sport, but the paintball is turning 40 years next year, so we're into our second or our third generation of players. Like, you've got people that played at their first games in the early 80s, and then people that they at that point they were 18 or 20 or 40, and then they had kids, and then their kids came out and their kids. Now we're seeing third generations of players playing paintball. So the sport is moving along, and you can find these old players, and they're still out because they enjoy the game. Because who does not like playing paintball?
Yeah.
I think for me, you hit the nail on the head for me, Joe. Life happens, right? So people move off to other things because different priorities, but the passion, the love of the game still exists. And so they're looking forward to opportunities to come out. So they bring their children out, and now they're bringing grandchildren out too. It's really an exceptional game that speaks to, it transcends all barriers, right? Including age and ability. So what other sport can you actually actively participate with your child, and your grandchild all at the same time, shoulder to shoulder, right?
Yeah.
So many of the sports that we see, you're watching either somebody play, but you can't compete side to side or as a team. But when you're talking multi-generations on the same playing field, on the same team, competing for the same objective, that's really, really special. So it's something that, is unique to our sport.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, also in that comment that he was talking about, he said, grow the sport, not your body count. If you guys get an opportunity to be an ambassador, you should be doing that on the field. Absolutely. But then, as Joe alluded to, there's kind of two ambassadors. There's ambassadors who will quietly help you. Then there are people who you kind of wish you may not have signed up to stick around with, because some of the war stories will get pretty thick. But
True.
Yeah. John Corrado says, head up on a swivel. Getting bunker vision is understandable when you're getting hammered by incoming paint. So basically saying, don't just watch what's downfield from you, look around you as well. Top fan Mike Holstrom says, don't spend all of your budget on a marker. Buy a good mask first, and then even if you have to do some renting, he says, P.S. do not buy an expensive hopper if you play with Gavin. John Metcalf says, do not wipe. Yeah, that won't get you far in the sport. Philippe says, mask down at all times. That's definitely a given. Ryan, playing tip, he says, don't come directly over top of the bunker. Pop out the sides and other edges as well. And Billy Keats, he says, here's one I don't see on here. So basically he says, leave the paintballs on the ground. Don't pick up the used paintballs because they'll jam your hopper. What do you guys think? Any other newbie tips you'd like to give out?
I usually like to help people learn how to hold a marker. A lot of people get the custom 98 because when I think rookie, I think somebody who's just starting out playing or playing for the first time. I always like to remind them that, the tank doesn't go under your arm. Tuck the tank into your shoulder so it's up front. It just gives them a better shot, and I like to think they have a little bit more fun if they can actually hit something.
Yeah.
And if I'm on a team with a bunch of new players, I ask them what they would like to do. If they solicit advice, that's fantastic. I will certainly offer my insight to a field or how to play it. But again, I recognize that I remember how incredible it was when I was learning the ropes myself, right? Figuring things out and not having sort of the recreational general who's barking orders and telling you what to do, right?
That's right.
It's a wonderful experience, and let them choose the adventure, choose whatever experience they want, right? So if they want to strategize with you, that's great. Have them come up with ideas and bounce it off of you.
Yeah.
And if it's going to fail miserably, great. But, you sort of fail forward, you learn from that, right? But it's their plan. It's their day. Let them choose how they want to play.
Yeah. What do you guys think about James Lindsay's comment? He says, newbies believing that all they're going to need is a bag of 500 paintballs.
That's all you need. Sincerely, that's all you need.
I love the look and shock on somebody's face when they're out of 500. They go, where did I go? And I said, you did this 500 times.
Yeah.
And they go, no, I didn't.
Steve Tiffin says, mask down. We all get foggy, so keep it down.
Gavin's favorite satellite dish building.
Paintball is a team sport, and communication is key. And that's one of the number one things is communicate.
Yeah.
Tell your teammates where your opponents are. So.
Yeah, and as Tim Miller says, if you're going to talk dirty to them, at least that way they'll keep their attention, or get their attention. So very good. Nice to see Tim. Nice to see Effie in the live chat as well. If you guys are able to tune in on Saturday night, we do a live show on Saturday night, at least for another week or two until our fields get open again here. But it's your show. You guys can come in. We leave an open Zoom link. You can join us and stay for as long as you can. And we've had really good success. The first week, maybe not so much. We had some incidents, but the last couple of weeks have been very good. Lots of Australians been watching. Turkish people, some Germans. Turkish delights. Some Germans.
People from Gallipoli.
Gallipoli.
Gallipoli is in Turkey, isn't it? The Australians
yes.
Gallipoli. And Richie Santos is on Merritt Island, Florida. So he's close to Cape Canaveral and Cocoa Beach.
Nice.
So that's where he is. So
it's kind of sad that now isn't all the space program moving, or isn't SpaceX, aren't they in Texas? Is that right? Or are they in Florida as well? I thought they had moved
SpaceX, the latest launch was from Cape Canaveral, and they launched from Cape Canaveral because of the trajectory and the angle that it sits on, and to allow for blasting off. I read that.
But
on
I would
SpaceX
know that
Wikipedia.
if he paid attention when we were at the Smithsonian in Dulles.
Actually,
yeah.
I talked about that on Oatmeal Commentary maybe yesterday or Saturday.
But I thought SpaceX owned their own spaceport in Texas, and they've launched rockets and certainly done testing from there. Is
I
that
think
not
that's
the
what
case?
they're doing, the launching and landing, isn't it?
Matt, you want to help me out here, bud?
Yeah, this is.
All right. All right. Moving on. Moving on. Yeah, here we
it's
go.
relevant.
Gavin.
It's
Given the signs and the eye roll, it's like, got no buttons to push here. Right?
Here's the
So-
thing: is I've skipped over things that we had for tonight. I have action shots loaded up. I have a bunch of other stuff, custom corner. But without Matt in the studio doing all of this, I can't. It's hard to keep it all together. I'm not gonna lie. It's a hard thing here. Matt does a great job, and unfortunately, I am not doing it any service here. But hopefully, within the next couple of weeks, we'll, I don't know, maybe weeks, or you think it'll be a month before we see you guys in studio?
probably a month, Todd.
Probably at the end of January, or at the end of June, early July, maybe.
You shut your mouth if you say January.
I-
You shut your
Yeah,
dirty
no
mouth.
kidding. No kidding. All right, Price is Right, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the first item up for bid, and I'm tired of giving you guys some used items. So instead, let's give you guys something brand new. What about a BT SA-17
Oh,
with holster?
God.
What's that face, Gavin? Do you have things caught in? You have broccoli in your teeth?
It must be a prostate problem or something. Ugh.
an SA-17.
That.
With holster.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the guys are watching your live comments. If you guys think you know how much it is, post up in the live chat. And
Would you rather have an SA-17 or a USP
17.
17.
SA-17.
a
Yeah.
PCS USP?
So
what would you rather have?
SA-17, as far as I'm concerned, worked. The USP, as you're talking about, was a Piranha kind of thing, and it was finicky at the best of times. But the SA-17, although gaudy and horrible, didn't it work?
It did work. I recall it worked reasonably well. It was pretty short lived. And you know what? I bet if they brought something like that out again, it would sell because it's so compact.
What
Well,
are you
they-
doing, Joe?
They have all the tools.
Look at Gavin's face.
Anyway, let's
Okay,
go
but
to
in
John
Joe's
Maskin
defense, didn't you buy Armatech?
I had
Zeus.
okay. One of the
Zeus.
first pistols. One of the first
An
pistols is Zeus.
abomination.
And okay, and I appreciate. I bought it from you guys.
Yeah, so and then we
I
did
knew it was a
the
piece of shit, and you still sold it to
No,
me.
we didn't. You know what? We had
At the time, we had an inkling.
We had, remember those Armitex and things that we bought?
Ugh.
And you brought them in and they would never work and people would buy them? What a nightmare. I don't.
Yeah, we had a handful of those guns, and guys would come back the day after they bought it and say, "Yeah, I aired it up, and the thing just blew apart." So you'd steal parts out of brand new guns to try, and it didn't help. But at least they were happy they got brand new parts, and you went and tried to get warranty for them from the company, and they didn't answer their phones. They didn't.
I remember going into the store one night and Matt Roberts was there teching markers and he was literally making parts to put in there.
Yeah.
The Zeus pistols and the Armotech pistols and
It was a great
Oh.
paperweight.
Yeah.
So
What a-
I enjoyed that for keeping down all my papers, my receipts.
I remember a guy buying a drop forward and wanting me to install it right away, and I said, "Yeah, it's going to take about a half an hour, but I can put it on for you." And guys, it's 4 screws, right? And so we would take it out back, and you'd kind of sit there and you'd watch them on the monitor, and you'd grab a hammer and you'd slam it on the vise a couple of times, and there was times where Joe would go out with a full face mask and an acetylene torch lit, and he would go out and go, "Almost done. We're just waiting for it to set, and then we'll be right with you."
Or Joe in the back with like a CO2 tank and an Allen key go ding, 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 ding. Yep, still working on it. Ding, ding, ding. Woo.
Oh.
This one's a
those,
beast.
those were the days.
Finishing his ice cream as he goes.
I remember back in the day when we were at the original field and flex honing barrels was a thing. So we had this flex hone and you would fire up, you'd have to put flex hone oil on it and you'd put it in the barrel and you'd have to take the thing apart, and you do that. But we'd fire up the chainsaw, and you'd be coming out with masks on, and guys would be wrenching, and 4 people would run into the back to do this operation. It was pretty crazy, but that was back in the day.
Hey,
flex zoning.
Bill Scribner says, what about the Aecon Overlord?
Yeah, any of those things. Those were all
They're all the same.
All made
All
in
the
the
same.
same factory.
Putting a different name on a trash can doesn't make change the fact that it's a
Doesn't-
trash can.
Yes, it was awful. And any of those, how paintball managed to still be here after 10 years worth of that crap being injected into an industry of people spending their hard-earned money on it, and the wholesalers not knowing any better, stores not knowing any better, but only trying.
Yeah.
But in the day you had PMI really, and you had Tipman. This almost predates Tipman, and then you had some Sheridan guns, like,
Yep.
and that's kind of it. And God, how we got to here.
So after 5 minutes, Gavin, what's your bid?
Thank you, producer Matt. So for this wonderful piece of paintball history and an exceptional marker, I'm going to say $25, Bob.
Okay, but did I tell you it is brand new and you get a holster? Just, I want to clarify that.
Stop.
Okay, sorry.
Stop throwing
Sorry.
stuff in there.
$26 then, Bob.
Come on.
All right, Joe, you're up next.
$80.
$80. Josh?
I'd say 100.
$100. What did Gavin bid?
$26 it is.
All right, this sold for $54.26.
He won.
He won. Well, he is
And
the
that-
reigning champion from last
Yeah,
week,
thank
isn't
you
he?
for telling me about the holster. So that extra dollar put me over the edge, and I won.
I used
Thank
to
you,
be
Doug.
good at this game.
Never. I've always won.
What about this, ladies and gentlemen? Not
Oh,
one,
Who's
my
ever good at this game?
gosh.
Oh,
Not
that's
two.
Wonderful.
but Matt found thrice.
Those
Lightning
Those are
ASAs.
those are CP on.
Oh, only
aren't they?
2 are lightning. Sorry. Upon closer inspection, yeah.
So 2 flame drops and
Those
one
are
regular.
flame, not lightning.
Flame
are
might start,
they,
yes.
Are they CP? Yes. I can see the little jewel, I think.
But only
Yeah.
the bottom one is an on-off. The middle one is just a...
The top one looks like it's an on-off as well, Josh.
Oh, yeah, that's an on-off, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other one's a CP though. The middle one's
The
a
mid-
CP.
The middle one's a
Middle is
CP.
definitely CP. The bottom could be a cap. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. There was a bunch of knockoff ones that had that
Yeah.
bottom one
Don't
there.
don't talk too much about this. Matt's gonna get mad because we've already used our allotted time. We're allowed to
But
talk about.
we're trying to come up with our bid, so this is actually on point.
You know what? You guys are pushing the rules of lightning round here. We need
And
to
it-
faster bids here. Gavin, what are you thinking?
Because
This
this
is
is
lightning
lightning
round.
round.
I know, but you're dragging it out while you're researching.
All right, so let's just say $75, Bob.
Bill Scribner said 125. John Maskin $1. George Hay $19.
What about Chica Estrada? My new favorite name.
Chica is $60.
Very good.
What is Joe?
What do I say? I don't know. 75.
You can't. Gavin just said
Oh,
75.
did he? Oh. I'm gonna go $60.
Josh.
17.
17. Good, because you guys were all about to overbid. This sold for, well, you did $10.50, but I'm going to let
Wow.
that pass.
Goodbye.
No kidding. No
I need to
kidding.
get on eBay more. Damn.
This one here, I think, will make Josh very excited. And if you can't tell what it is, it's a Firestorm crank. That little little piece up top is someone's poor photoshopping. They couldn't get that background off. So that's just someone's stucco wall. But it's essentially a used, super rare Tippmann Model 98 trigger crank.
I am
Cool.
not excited about this because I own one.
That's
All
something I
right.
don't have.
Is the Firestorm? Well, this could be yours for one great price. Gavin, what do you think the price is?
I don't know if that was a slip with one great price. I'm going to say $100, Bob.
Joe, what are you thinking?
25.
George Hayes says $48, and Tracy Santos says 50.
50.
All right.
Richie says 78. Devin Schwartz says 78. Interesting.
All right. Josh, what are you thinking?
I like what George Hay and Tracy said, but I'm going to go with George's 48 because George has been a top fan for longer.
That's true. That's true. All right. And Joe, you bid. Sorry.
I did. I don't know what I said. But
This
I said
sold for $94.95. Oh,
got it.
Just over bid.
it pains me that someone actually bought it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Really? I think it's brilliant.
Why? They were hilarious.
I guess if you're building a prop, it would be I think it would be a really good addition to that. Let's go through this one quick because it's kind of a throwaway. Shock Tech paintball headband in double asterisks in capital letters, rare vintage.
Meh.
Who won the last one? Nobody. So
Zuby,
Gavin.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Zuby one.
Okay, so Zuby, you go next. Gavin, you damn cheater. Zuby, what are you thinking?
$24.
Okay, Gavin.
$20 even, Bob.
Okay, Joe.
27.
Joe takes it.
This sold for $129. Wow. When you put super rare, I think it just brings out stupid. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand that. I don't know how that sold. If
that's the case, I'm about to sell everything in my house that's super rare, which is just everything.
Super rare pocket lint.
My.
Okay,
Now,
so
this is super rare.
before you
Wow.
guys get too into this is an NSG Splatmaster Repeat 40-round paintball magazine. Not the gun. So this is a
just the
3D
magazine.
printed 40-round paintball magazine for the National Survival Game Splatmaster Repeat.
Yeah.
The condition is new, 3D printed with a PLA filament. Has brass insert for threads. There you go. Yeah, when I saw that picture, I got pretty excited. Although it is still pretty awesome.
I love how when they built this, they're like, we're going to put a magazine on it. Where's it going to go? To the left.
And up. Up and to the left.
That gun was ahead of its time too, and conceptually, with the mag that you twist it.
So what are you guys thinking on this? Who won that one?
That was Joe.
Joe, what are you thinking?
Now, just the mag. I'm gonna $20.
Okay.
John Maskin says 30. George Hay says 30.
Okay, Gavin, what does Gavin think?
Pika, $65.
I'm going to say 40 even.
Okay. Josh?
I'm going to say 50.
$17.95. It's just a 3D printed
Doomy.
3D printed Doomy. Matt,
Yeah, but
do we have a winning
You can't
score?
justify that because someone just bought a Shock Tech headband for over $100.
I know. All right, well, let me give you something that we haven't had on the show. This is going to be kind of silly. Okay, you don't have to worry about the picture because it doesn't show much, but it's an Angel A1 platform original paintball box with manual. Comes with everything but the gun.
Just the box.
What the hell?
Buying the box, Gavin. You're buying the box. It's the box. What's in the box?
It's not even a mystery box.
This
you
one's.
know it's empty.
Is this one going to take the win for everybody, Matt?
Yes.
This
as
can't
long
be
as
like
someone-
Rolex boxes where the boxes are actually worth money.
Apparently, well, I don't know. This guy's selling it, so it's got to be worth something.
That's terrible logic.
Well, the other guy
It
got
is,
$130 for whatever, and yeah. So Devin Schwartz says $1.
No, that's negative $1.
Oh, negative $1. Zane Smith $41.
You can ship it to me, but you have to ship $1 with it.
Who goes?
Roger
first?
Weaver
Oh,
says
I guess.
$1, and George Hay says 34.
Yeah, that's Joe.
Joe, what are you thinking?
$19. I don't know what to think.
All right. Elliot Darno says just the tip. I mean the box. Josh, what are you thinking? Not a lot of bids, like high bids, anyways, in the live chat.
$7?
Okay, Gavin. Sasha
$5,
says
Bob.
$9.99. You said $5.
It costs more to ship it.
Oh, that's a Brent Davis money there. All right, Matt, all bids are in. This sold for $39. Someone actually bought this stupid. I mean, I guess if you own the gun, but I guess if you own the gun,
cardboard box. Come on.
I know. I'm just trying to justify it, but if you own that gun and you didn't,
clearly, I'm gonna have to go through my recycling bin. There's money to be made.
You know what? I have in my my garage, I have a Carling Black Label box, like a beer box, just because I don't know what was in it. Probably old magazines from about the same time, but the date of manufacture is, I think, 9 or 7/74. So it's like
46 years old.
Yeah, it's the same age as like Corey was born in Todd's wife, or Corey, was born in 1974. So think about that. Like, that's a cardboard box, a beer box. How many of those are left kicking around, really, of that vintage?
I like your defense. You're defending that, not the fact that you're hoarding a box of
But if people are buying $40 for an empty Angel box, I'm sure there's some value to yours, Joe.
There should be some value to mine.
I used to work at a nightclub for about 15 years, and I collected stuff, and I got mirrors from Crystal Blue and like Labatt, all kinds of nonsense. Matt used to work there. He knows what I'm talking about. This swag flew like water, right? I kept these things for years. Old stubby Molson Canadian bottles that still had beer in it, unsealed, just kept them in boxes. And I looked at it one day, and I went, what the hell am I going to do with any of this stuff? And I pitched it all. And I guarantee half that stuff wasn't worth anything.
You had Cristal?
Crystal, yeah. I also had Red Dog. Remember Red Dog was a beer for a minute?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was so good that it still exists now, right? No.
Horrible.
Yeah, so I just kind of pitched it. And you know what? For the $5 I may have won on one of the mirrors or something, it's not worth holding on to that crap. It's really not.
So, to bring it around again, Joe won.
Not again.
Congratulations, Gavin.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we should probably finish this up. Joe's already on Netflix already. And
no, I'm Googling vintage Carling Black Label case box.
God help us if he gets $20 for that, it's going to open up Pandora's box. No pun intended. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. We're going to be live on Saturday night with a live show where you guys can join in. We've also been putting those online as a podcast. So if you want to hear yourself, you can go back and download those as well. George Hay says he won. George, you're always a winner to us. Very good. And nice to and Chica Estrada says, wow, really? I like Chica Estrada's name. It's my new Edmond Chong name, as far as I'm concerned.
Edmond Chong.
Yeah. Josh, thanks for being on the program, my friend.
Oh, thank you for having me in this Zoom call. And thanks to everyone who liked and shared. I know we say it all the time, but it actually does make a difference. And, of course, thank you to all of our sponsors for giving us something to do while we're stuck at home.
Is this your first Zoom call this week?
$29 US.
There you go.
It's about my third one.
Yeah. And thank you, Matt, for being on the program and keeping us on the straight and narrow.
I try, and I will not be seeing you on Saturday, but come Monday, I'll be working harder on my lightning round questions. I'm at about 28 right now.
Nice. Did you get any from tonight's show?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Guys, remember what happened tonight. Gavin Charmer from TerraTech Industries.
Always wonderful to be here, Todd. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate your support. As Zuby said, make sure you hit that like and share button. Yeah. And if you are so inclined, my friends, take a look at the sponsors who are listed on our page and give them a like and share as well. And check out what new products are coming up. 2020 season is rolling open slowly. Support your local field, support our sponsors, and let's get shooting each other safely. Thanks, my friends.
Matt, if you're looking for questions for the show, keep the words S-key and chili bin in for questions. That is what's the Australian words for cooler. We learned that on Saturday night.
S-key and chili bin.
And chili bin, I nearly lost it when I heard that. Joe Kimson from Flagger's Paintball.
Thanks, guys and girls, for tuning in tonight. And when you're looking, we've been having an awful lot of calls and messages on the new Tippmann Stormer Elite and also the Planet Eclipse MG100. Lots of keen interest and enthusiasm on those two shooters. So when we all emerge out of this COVID-19 bubble we're trapped in, those are going to be some new markers that you're going to see on the field, and people are going to be having a fine time going pew-pew with them.
Yeah.
Until Saturday night, be well.
And Josh, thanks for being on the show.
You already said that.
I know, but I wanted to make sure I got you. You live around the corner, and I never see you anymore, you bugger. And thank you to our fine sponsors, GI Sports, Air Ups Paintball, Ruthless Paintball Products, Altama, Exalt, Planet Eclipse, Enola Gay, or EG as we like to call them these days, Ninja Paintball, and DLX, the fine manufacturer of Lux paintball markers. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next week.